Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review covers the release of the reboxing of the Jeep Honcho with the snowmobile from the Ice Patrol kit. Now this is a merging of two previously released kits in a new form and haven't been seen since the 80s. The 1980 Jeep Honcho Ice Patrol is a 124 scale Revell model kit. It's number 85-7224 and it's a skill level 5 for the intermediate to advanced builder. There's 80 parts molded in white and clear with some rubber tires and water slide decals that include two color variations of blue or red shades for painting different schemes. Now, the Jeep pickup was based on the Jeep Wagoneer, and it was initially referred to as Gladiator. It was in production from 62 to 88, and the Honcho was a trim package offered for the base model. Now, when you're done with this, the dimensions are about 8 inches long, 3 3/4 inches wide, and 5 inches tall. The instructions are in pretty good shape, and they're easy to follow. So come with us and we'll show you how to build it. Here's the contents of the kit, and some people would call this an open box review by trying to describe each piece and tree, but I thought I'd just show you all the parts and you can see them in about 10 seconds. Even so, that won't help you build the kit, and that's what we're here to do. Also, remember to follow the manufacturer safety and use guidelines for any of the products that you hear or see in the review. Here are the decals for this kit. As you can see, they're very colorful, and the register is good for these. Use plenty of warm water when you're putting the decals on, and also the larger decals here, like the big stripes, they really benefit from some of the aftermarket products that help you set the decals into place. So I strongly recommend that you use some of those. Construction starts with the chassis and suspension on this kit, so assemble the front and rear suspension and the sway bar into place and paint the chassis flat black. The exhaust is steel with aluminum mufflers and installed into the frame. Now paint the shocks whatever favorite brand color you want to use. I used red and installed those. And the transfer case is assembled, painted steel, and installed too. Now detail paint the rim aluminum. Here are the kit's tires, and by themselves they're not bad tires, but I thought that for an Ice Patrol I would need something with a little more aggressive tread. So that being said, I decided to replace them with some aftermarket wheels and tires from Fireball Model Works, and these are model number FMR072. Now this is an optional idea, and the kit tires will work just fine, but you'll see that I've replaced mine with the Fireball units. And to use the Fireball units, the rims, you have to select a set of front locking hubs that you like and a set of rear hubs that you like from the options included. So cut them off flush from the sprue, and using the back of the kit rim, cut it off flush and super glue the hub to that. Now you can snip the axle pin to fit the new hub and glue it onto the axle. So paint that flat black with yellow locking hubs. For the wheels, I used some Gravity Colors chrome paint for the rims. Now install the rims and clean out the holes for the lugs and the hub, and then install a tire onto each axle, front and rear. The kit is building up fairly quickly, and we're already at the point where we have a rolling chassis on which to build the rest of our model. Grab these pieces out of the kit to assemble the engine, the intake, the valve covers, and the front engine section. Paint that light blue and aluminum. The carb is gold and the exhaust manifolds are steel. The fan, hose, and air cleaner and the belt are flat black. The alternator is aluminum color, and on the motor the starter is black. Now assemble the entire motor and then install that into place on the frame. Remember to remove any of the paint where the glue points make contact so you get a good bond. As you can see, the motor is setting in the frame. Make sure that it's properly aligned and setting flush with the two rocker covers on top at a horizontal level. Now cut the pieces off from the sprues that deal with the body panels, etc., as you can see here in the illustration. And we're going to prepare the body for paint. You can do some of the assembly prior to painting. There's no back window, so install the rear cab panel from the inside and install the rear bed panel and the tailgate so that the tailgate will open, and then install the radiator. With some of the pre-assembly out of the way, we can prepare the body by wet sanding and removing all the blemishes and the mold lines. There's a few on the cab corners and along the bed's top. So smooth the body parts out and primer the body parts inside and out with a good quality primer. Now the bumpers were done in chrome at this time as well. Once the body has dried from the primer, it needs to be wet sanded again and prepared and checked for any blemishes. And once you've got those all smoothed out and cleaned up the way you like them, wash the body with some mild soap and warm water, and then rinse and let it air dry. And then paint the body the color of your choice. I did mine with a blue metallic mix that I had left over from different paints, and you can mix it up yourself or basically use any color that will contrast with the decals. At this time I also painted the grille with the Gravity Colors chrome paint. After the body has dried, we'll begin to add the decals to our body, and make sure that you use plenty of warm water for both removing them from the backing. Let them soak for at least 30 seconds, and then let them set for about a minute. And use warm water on the body as well. Once again, also with these very large decals, I recommend an aftermarket setting solution to help them conform to contours. So go ahead and place your decals into position at this time. Then squeeze out any air bubbles or water that's trapped under them and let those dry overnight. Finally, give it a clear coat to seal in the decals. Install the windshield at this time, and it actually just snaps into place, but if you want to use a little bit of glue, use some of the white glue or crystal clear glue that's made to dry transparently for your window. The interior is pretty sparse, and back in 1962, trucks were made for work. You really wanted them sparse. You wanted to be able to almost hose them out when you got them full of mud and dirt. But it reflects the times, and we're going to add the seats and paint the interior tub flat black. There's almost no detail, but there's some door handles that you can highlight with a silver pen. Paint the dash, the column, and the wheel flat black, and detail with the included decals and some silver paint for highlights, as you see here. Now add the wheel and the column into place in the dash and then install it into the tub. Now it's time to install the body tub into the body, and we're going to make sure to remove any paint from the gluing points so that you get a good bond. Also at this time, do the same thing with the chassis. Locate the glue points and use some super glue for strength to bond it to the body. Get the pieces together here as you see for the front end, and we're going to paint the push bar black and then add the radiator hose to the motor and radiator and finish any detail painting that needs to be done. As you can see, the turn signal lights are turn signal amber, etc., and I used a little black wash for the grill to give the recesses a black wash. Now add the grill with the headlights, the bumper, and the push bar. Now we'll get out the parts to finish the parts for the rear end, and we're going to install those. I'll first assemble the roll bar with the lights and the antenna, and paint the roll bar black with a red fire extinguisher. The antenna is aluminum. The mirrors are chromed, and those are assembled and installed. Next, the toolbox and the gas cans are assembled, and they're painted red and set into the bed. Now install the bumper in the back. I wanted to personalize my Ice Patrol, so I printed out a copy of my logo as a license plate on some plain paper with a color printer, and then I put a piece of tape on the front and the back and glued the tags into place on the bumpers. With construction on the Honcho essentially finished, we can work on the snowmobile. Assemble the tracks and paint the skids, tracks, and handlebars flat black. The lower half and the front is painted to match the truck. Now detail with some black and the seat color, and then assemble and add your decals to this neat little snowmobile. Well, there you have it. These two kits themselves haven't been seen since about the 1980s. The Honcho is really still untouched from the way it was last released, and it's still a nice basic build, but you'll need to do a little test fitting, although the flash and any of the sink marks blemishes weren't really very bad. They've done a good job cleaning that up. Also, the little snowmobile from the Ice Patrol, it's the same as it was. And as an addition now to the Jeep Honcho, it's a great looking little display piece. Overall, it's great subject matter, and it's got that mean industrial look that appears as if it would last another 100 years. So, once again, it's back on the shelves instead of the triple digits that you've been seeing by the auction sites, etc. But you can buy one of these now and put it on your shelf. Well, we hope you like this premium step-by-step model kit review. And so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can find us on Facebook and at our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks.